The app we're going to cover today is PDF Maps. Alright, you can download it in the App Store. I believe it's created by Avenza. If we go to the actual App Store, we can go up here in the top right corner and type PDF Maps. And we'll see it shows up over here, Avenza PDF Maps. We can click download. It's a free app, so you shouldn't have to purchase it, but you will have to enter your username, password to be able to download it. So we'll get out of that, and then once it's downloaded, it'll show up somewhere on your iPad. Right here we have a PDF Maps. Now PDF Maps, I should preface it with it's going to work for us to be able to go out there and ground truth some of our images, some of our maps, but they do have to be in a GeoPDF or a GeoTIFF format. One of those two, which means the images are already stitched together if needed and they're already referenced to a location. Alright. If they're not referenced, you're going to want to use something like the Acre Scout video. If you go to our website, you can take a look at that video as well. But for ones that are already stitched, already referenced, this PDF Maps works really well. So when we open it up, we have tabs across the bottom. We notice we have the Maps tab, and these are maps already loaded on our iPad themselves. We don't have to use one of those. We can come over here. If we want to hit edit, we can hit edit and actually slide them across, delete different ones we don't want, hit done. We could organize them into folders. If we go to this plus sign right here and click on that, I can now add maps from their store, from iTunes, or from a Dropbox. Alright, I can click on Dropbox. Now assuming I have Dropbox on this iPad and it's all loaded and ready to go, and the first time it might ask you if you want a link, you just say yes, link this to my Dropbox account, and then it'll actually open your Dropbox, and here we see we have two different images in that Dropbox account. I can click on one of them, then down in the bottom left hand corner hit download, and it'll actually download that image to my iPad. So I need Wi-Fi connection or 3G connection currently, but once it's downloaded to my iPad, I'll no longer need that data connection to pull this map up. I will need a 3G enabled capable iPad, because that's the only one that, or 3G or 4G, because that's the only one that's going to have the GPS receiver. Alright, but I do not have to have a data plan active out there in the field to be able to do this. So now I can click on Corn College Stitched, and it actually opens up. And here we can see we're in the shed here with the GPS receiver showing us there. As this zeroes in, or as we go outside, this ring around here will start to minimize, thereby showing that we have an increased accuracy. But now if I wanted to, I can actually walk out there in this field and I'd walk across the top of this image. It was already referenced for us, and now I'm just using it to navigate back and forth. Most aerial imagery providers can provide you with a GeoTIFF if they're already referencing that software for you. A lot of different programs now are having the option to be able to print to a GeoPDF, which is basically a referenced PDF. While I'm out here in the field, I have this crosshairs that as I slide the map around, that crosshairs moves. I can move it different places. If I want to place a point, I go down here in the bottom left hand corner and I can actually put a pin in. I click on there, I find a place mark. If I hit on the eye next to that place mark, I can actually name it. If I have a spot or something that I want to come back to, I can name it, and that way I actually come back to that same spot. I can type in a description for that place mark. I can actually tag photos. If I've taken a photo with my iPad, I'll have to hit OK now to allow it access to my photos, but then I can actually bring photos in of that actual place. Alright, so I hit the plus sign. I can go to my photo library, or I can go to my camera and take an actual picture in the spot. But say I had a picture of some damage or some insects that were out there, I can take a picture of that, and then next time I can reference that picture later on. Alright, it gives you the GPS location about it. Alright, hit close, that pin's going to stay right there where it was. Alright, pretty nice. If I come down here in the bottom right hand corner to the wrench, and I click on that, I get some tools that I can hide. If I do find coordinates, I can actually enter in coordinates at the top of my map, and it'll help me find those coordinates. So if I have coordinates, say of a downed drone or some other place that I have to navigate to, a soil testing point, I could type those in there. If we go back and go to probably some other ones you want to know is record GPS tracks. Alright. With this then, I can actually start a GPS track. I can walk around the field if I wanted to, and then stop the GPS track. And I can GPS in whatever I want. Alright. And the other one that we actually use quite a bit is this measure. If I click on the measure, then I want to measure, say, between this point here. I get my crosshair lined up on it. And then I go down here in the bottom left hand corner and I hit the plus sign. That drops a point. Now we'll notice that I'm connected to that point. I want to measure from this tractor to that tractor. I can do that, or across the field, or anything I want. And I can add another point. And if I want to keep going, I can do that. I can measure the perimeter around the whole field. Then, about here halfway across, I hit this button right here. That turns it into a polygon. And now instead of just feet around the perimeter, I get actual acres. So here I have 3.73 acres. If I click on the settings up here, I can change it from measuring in acres to square meters, square kilometers, anything I want, and I can change my line color as well if I want to. Alright, I'll hit save down here at the bottom, and it'll save that line that I just created. Alright, so if you want to quickly measure anything out in acres, you can do that. Place it in there. You can measure how far you're off from different places, but the biggest thing here is we can take this image here where we got some obvious problems happening out here in the field, or in DVI, thermal imagery, anything like that that's already referenced. We can pull it up, use the GPS then to walk out across this field right to any of these zones and take a look and see what's going on right then. Alright. Thank you.